What's going on, everyone? This is going to be a little bit of a test video to, try out some games and politics at the same time. And I'm going to be playing, Overwatch, obviously, and we're playing healer because I can just kind of heal bot. Um, and I'm going to talk about politics at the same time. And it's going to be American politics, so we're just going to talk about some very recent developments in American society. So this is going to be a bit of a shorter video because I don't really want to, it's a test video again. I don't know how it's going to turn out. And, maybe I'll consider just recording the background footage separately at some point. But yeah, so what we're going to be talking about today is the more recent occurrence is the Trump tariffs and the Supreme Court ruling that, they're not allowed, right? And then his subsequent actions afterward. The deployment of ICE forces, Immigration and Customs Enforcement, across the United States, which is obviously a bit more long ago, but regardless, it's an ongoing situation, right? And then even more long ago, we're going to talk a bit about, Zoran Mamdani's victory in New York. We're going to talk about the increasing popularity of leftist-ish politics in the United States and the trend almost that there's a bit of a shift towards the left in the United States on the political compass. So I guess I'll just get started. Let's start with the Supreme Court ruling, which happened Saturday, February 21st, if I recall correctly. And pretty much it's an ongoing thing, right? That's been a part of Trump's presidency for a long time, and his campaign is that we're going to tax and tariff foreign goods, and this is done under the guise, he claims that it's done to protect American industry, more specifically to solve the tax deficit in the United States, right? The trade deficit, which is it means that we import more, than we export, and which is pretty common for stronger economies. But he has an issue with it because, frankly, he's not the most competent of politicians, to say the least. But yeah, it's been an ongoing thing, right? That was one of the key parts of his campaign, is that, yeah, we're going to put tariffs on these foreign countries so that we can focus on American economic increasing, American economy increasing in strength. But obviously, the problem with that is that the tariffs have, first of all, they didn't work, right? In 2025, the trade deficit was at 900 billion, and in 2024, it was also at 900 billion US dollars. So, despite the consumer paying more per good from foreign countries, uh, nothing has really changed, right? Because the United States is absolutely dependent on other countries for trade, especially countries like China, where it is super easy to produce goods en masse for cheap, which is why we trade with China. It's cheaper than doing it here. But I can see why you would have a problem with it. It doesn't make much sense to trade with an ideological rival, but you can't really deny that it does have a huge influence on our economy. It's a huge problem in American society right now, is that he just didn't listen to the Supreme Court, which is an awful, it's like a catastrophic precedent, because you can think what you want about the Republican Party. I don't like them because I'm a bit of a leftist myself. But regardless of what you think, nobody should be able to go against the word of the Supreme Court. It's going to set the same precedent for other parties, right? So if the Republicans do it, then the Democrats will do it too, right? So you shouldn't support it no matter what. Otherwise, it's just going to keep on happening in American politics, and it will rapidly degrade the health of American democracy. Now, let's talk a bit about the deployment of ice forces, right? So we saw like the situation kind of, I mean, it's a bit early to tell, I would say, but we saw it effectively climax, right? Reach its worst in Minnesota, Minneapolis more specifically, with the killing of Renee Good and Alex Preddy in that order, right? Which sparked outrage because obviously they unjustly killed two U.S. citizens. Obviously sparked controversy and huge protests around the United States, as it should, because it's just wrong. But also, I feel like it should show you that, ICE does not have a right to exist in democracy or in a democracy that supports any sort of humanity, right? Because if we look at like the goal of ICE, then we can see that even if they completely like finish their goal and if they do everything perfectly, it's still not gonna make anyone happy, right? Their goal is to get rid of every illegal immigrant in the entirety of the United States, and given that Trump's in office, probably the legal immigrants too. And it's like, if that is solved, first of all, that's bad for the economy because a population decline is really never good. Second of all, it's bad for the fucking immigrants, obviously, right? So it's like, regardless of if the task is accomplished or not, ICE is hurting people. Any stable nation, any stable, democratic nation would make killing people completely unacceptable, hurting people like completely like its last goal. So why is it that it's being supported? It shouldn't be. ICE is an anti-human organization, and the only logical thing to do is to simply remove it. It's to abolish it. That's pretty much it for now. Sorry this was like an excruciating watch, because obviously, I'm doing two things at once, which is an asinine idea. Now that I think about it, I'll never do it again. I'm sorry. But yeah, if you did watch it at all, thank you very much. I really do appreciate it. Again, very, very sorry about its quality. Um, but that's it. I'll probably just upload a gameplay video at some point because I like playing games, and I would like to have an audience. So yeah, that's it. Thanks so much for clicking on this video in the first place. I hope you have an amazing day.